Good day, kids. Today I'm going to be reading to you Odin's 3 quests. Make sure that you jot down what those 3 quests are as I read. I trust I hung on that windy tree 9 whole days and nights, stabbed with a spear. None refreshed me ear. With food nor drink, I peered right down into the deep. Crying loud, I lifted the runes, then back I fell from there. That's a quote from Odin. Early every morning, Odin, the father of all the gods, sat on his throne in a golden hall of Asgard. With his 2 wolves at his feet and his 2 ravens, Thought and Memory, on his shoulders, he surveyed all the 9 worlds. As the sun rose, Odin sent Thought and Memory out across the universe. The ravens visited the 9 worlds, questioning the living and the dead. Then they returned at nightfall and whispered in Odin's ear all that they had seen and heard. But one day, Odin decided that he had to gain for himself all the world's wisdom and memory. To achieve this, he had to drink from the magic waters of Mimir's well. Odin set out for Asgard and traveled to Jotunheim, the land of the frost giants. When he arrived at the magic well, Odin stood before the enormous head of the god Mimir. Though Mimir's head had been severed from his body in the war between the Aesir and the Vanir gods, he still had great wisdom and memory and the power of speech. "I must have a drink from your well," said Odin. "Indeed," asked Mimir. "Even a god must sacrifice something in exchange for a drink from my waters." "Tell me what you wish me to sacrifice," said Odin. "You must give me one of your eyes," said Mimir. "An eye is a small price to pay for all the wisdom and memory of the 9 worlds," said Odin. So Odin plucked out one eye and gave it to Mimir. In exchange, Mimir gave him a drink from his magic well. So, that was the quest for wisdom. Now, Odin was pleased to have all the wisdom and memory of the 9 worlds, yet he wished to have more. He wanted to learn the secret runes, mysterious written symbols that gave one magic powers over nature. Odin knew that the price of great knowledge was great suffering, so he hung for 9 days from the world tree. With his own sword piercing his side, he swung in the windy dark, yearning for food and drink. Tortured and alone, Odin gazed down into the world of the dead, and slowly he perceived 18 runes. Thus he learned how to calm storms, heal the sick, speak to the dead, and forecast the future. Afterward, Odin carved the mysterious runes into wood and stone and bone. He carved them into the paw of the bear, the claws of the wolf, the beak of the eagle. He carved them into the end of the rainbow. In this way, he passed the runes on to men, so that they too could learn the secrets of nature. So the second quest was to learn the secret runes. The final quest. Now, Odin had all the wisdom and memory of the 9 worlds. He was a master magician, and he was lord of the runes. But still, he thirsted for one thing more: the mead of poetry. A special drink that turned one into a poet. Odin believed that being a good poet was as important as being a good warrior. For anyone who could use words in beautiful and imaginative ways would surely have mastery over all life. Long before, the mead of poetry had been stolen from the dwarves by this giant called Suttung. Hidden deep in a mountain cave, it was guarded day and night by Suttung's daughter. One morning, with a patch over one eye and disguised in a black cape and a wide-brimmed hat, Odin set out for the land of the giants. Soon after he arrived in Jotunheim, he came upon 9 trolls cutting wheat in a field. Odin offered to sharpen the trolls' cutting tools. When they said yes, Odin pulled his whetstone from his belt and put a razor-sharp edge on all of their blades. The trolls were so impressed that they demanded the whetstone for themselves. "Whoever can catch it can have it," and Odin, throwing the stone into the air. The greedy trolls fell upon one another, fighting over the whetstone, until soon they were all slain by each other's sharp blades. Odin continued on his journey until he came to the home of Suttung's brother, Bogi. "My name is Bolverk," Odin said. Bolverk means one who can do the most difficult tasks. "May I stay here and work for you?" "Indeed, I do need help," said Bogi. "My 9 troll workers had a quarrel this afternoon, and they all killed one another." "Ah, don't worry," said Odin. "I will do the work of all 9. But in exchange, you must give me the mead of poetry, which your brother Suttung stole from the dwarves." "Of course," said Bogi. He thought the mead was a small payment, for like most giants, he did not particularly value the gift of poetry. Odin cut wheat all summer, easily doing the work of the 9 trolls. Bogi was very pleased, and once the wheat was harvested, he hurried to his brother to ask for the mead of poetry. But Suttung did not want to part with the magic liquid because he knew it was important to the gods. The stubborn giant refused all his brother's entreaties and ordered him to leave. Bogi was angry when he returned home. "Don't worry, we will outwit your brother," said Odin. "Help me bore a hole into the mountain where the mead is hidden, and I will convince Suttung's daughter to give me the drink." So Bogi helped Odin bore a hole through the hard mountain rock. Then Odin turned himself into a snake and slithered through the hole into the hidden cavern. Odin quickly turned himself back into a god, and he won over Suttung's daughter, Gunlod. He stayed with the maiden giant for 3 days, and each day drank a barrel of mead. On the 4th day, inspired by the fiery drink of poetry, Odin turned himself into an eagle. He spread his mighty wings and soared home to Asgard. Suttung soon learned of Odin's theft, and he swiftly donned an eagle's disguise as well and set off for Asgard. Suttung's pursuit was in vain, though, for when the gods saw the first eagle flying toward their home, they knew it was Odin. So quickly they grabbed all the jars they could find and set them on the ground. Odin opened his beak, and the magic liquid poured down from the sky into the jars of the gods. From then on, the art of poetry was known as Odin's gift, and the great god Odin shared it with all the gods and humans who had the wit and wisdom to make good use of it. So there you go. His 3rd quest was for poetry. I hope you enjoyed Odin's 3 quest story. Please like the video if you did.